Greetings out there in YouTube land, and welcome to the House of Johnfeld. This is not a review, but a personal attack. The Devil Wears Prada is a cult film for fashionistas and the gay community, and both worship Meryl Streep and her character Miranda Priestly. I saw this movie in the theater, and it hit a nerve with me because I have worked with rotten bosses like the one in this picture. Based on Lauren Weisberger's best-selling novel of the same name, she worked at Vogue magazine as an assistant to editor-in-chief Anna Wintour for 10 months. During that time, it provided the inspiration for the novel, and when published, the book spent a year on the New York Times bestseller list. The movie adaptation soon followed, with Meryl Streep cast as Miranda and Anne Hathaway as protagonist Andrea Sachs. Miranda Priestly is the editor-in-chief to Runway magazine, who takes perfectionism to the extreme level. The only work she seems to do is look at pictures, note-taking, fumbling through clothes, schmoozing, shit-testing, idiotic demands, subtle insults, and talking down to her employees, all in a quiet, soft, intimidating tone. Everyone does everything for her because she has the power to fire people at will and have them blacklisted from publishing. That is why she is feared. The staff of Runway are some of the most awful people one would ever encounter. Two in particular take the cake: Miranda's senior assistant, Emily Charlton, and creative director, Nigel Kipling. Emily wants to be Miranda Priestly and believes the first step is to be nasty to everyone. Mission accomplished. This was the role that put Emily Blunt on the map, as she is terrific in the role playing a copycat Miranda. She lives for fashion and is constantly learning all the latest trends, works round the clock, she diets obsessively to maintain a skinny figure at the expense of her physical and mental health. Because of all this, she never moves forward in her career and only lives for the approval of Miranda that never comes. Since the film's release, Blunt has avoided typecasting and has played more likable characters in films following Prada. As absurd as it sounds, the public and the Hollywood casting directors often believe that when an actor plays a certain role, it's how they are in real life. Nigel Kipling, played by Stanley Tucci, falls into the stereotype of a flamboyant gay male character. Not the adorable and funny ones, but the nasty, catty type who never misses an opportunity to insult and humiliate an individual he finds inferior. He, like Emily, worships the ground Miranda walks on, and even when she throws him under the bus for a job promotion, he still holds on to the delusion she will recognize him for his hard work. Andy's boyfriend Nate and friends are no better. Nate is a self-righteous asshole who feels he is morally superior and is the true villain of the picture. Her friends take her for granted and could care less. So Andy is caught between a rock and a hard place, and it's easy to see why she becomes stressed with everything. Despite all this, she succeeds at her job, asking questions, much to Miranda's annoyance, learns a lot, and becomes street smart with all of Miranda's demands. Here is an interesting example. Miranda is the mother of twin crotch goblins that are the personification of demon spawns that make you happy abortion is legal and say thank you, Planned Parenthood. One of Miranda's idiotic demands is to get the latest Harry Potter book before it is even published. Andy manages to pull this off and getting the manuscripts. What took the cake for me was when Andy handed Miranda a manuscript copy and her ladyship snidely asked, "You expect them to share?" That is when I wanted to yell at the screen, say, "Yeah, might do those failed abortions some good," but I didn't. I had no desire to be escorted out of the theater by security without a refund. Despite all my snarky comments, there are good things in The Devil Wears Prada. First and foremost is the costume design. Emmy and Guild Award winner Patricia Field was the lady in charge of styling the picture. Saddled with a $1 million costume budget, she pulled, borrowed, and shopped all the brand names like Prada, of course, Chanel, and Dior. For Emily, she used clothes by Vivienne Westwood. Field received a well-deserved Oscar nomination for Best Costume Design. Afterwards, all of the clothes from the movie were auctioned off and the money given to charity. The only item Meryl kept were the sunglasses she wore in the film. Meryl is fantastic. When is she never? She sinks her teeth into the role and plays it to the hilt. She created her look from model Carmen de la Force and adopted a quiet speaking tone from Clint Eastwood, upping the intimidation factor. She won a well-deserved Golden Globe for her performance and received her 14th Oscar nomination. In conclusion, The Devil Wears Prada is a very well-made film, but for those who have had horrible bosses, it may be a little difficult to watch. A few years later, a documentary was released called The September Issue, starring good old Anna Wintour, showing how she puts together Vogue's annual September issue that features the best in fashion. Miss Anna was clearly on her best behavior as the crew followed her around. The September issue is a nice companion piece to The Devil Wears Prada. Currently, it is being turned into a musical with Elton John composing the score, and we can only wait and see what the results will be. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and that's the way the cow ate the cabbage.